All right then, guys. It is May 26, 2026. I hit a new low weight this morning, 152.5 pounds, and I'm 15.5% body fat. So this is the leanest, lowest weight I've ever been. I am getting to the point where I need to start doing some resistance training. I've lost most of my weight in the past year, like since last spring, summer-ish. Low fat vegan diet, focusing more on protein and good carbs like fruit and starch. I've been combining protein and carbs basically. I went ahead and got some weights over the weekend. And go ahead and get them here. Yeah, 2 pound weights. So I've been playing around with the weights, and I've decided that I just need to do some basic weights here. So, all right. Just, the basic, lifting them this way. And I've already done this a few times yesterday and this morning. Even though they're 2 pound weights, they start feeling heavy after like 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Definitely by a minute, they feel heavy. And then can like do the shadow boxing thing. Yeah, yeah. Do some uppercuts maybe. I don't know. I'm new to the dumbbells or whatever, these little 2 pound weight things. I almost got the 3 pounds, but I decided to start with the 2 pounds. And then can do like these. Of course, all this works different parts. See, that's already starting to feel pretty heavy. I'm just doing that a few times. And, just holding them out. Just holding them out like this. See, it starts to feel heavy after a while. Oh yeah, I don't really got much room here, but going like this too. I think this like helps to work the chest. But yeah, so just a little update. I finally got some little weights here. Start doing something like this every day. I also got some resistance bands too. I've had those for a while. I've just been slacking on using them, but I want to keep these like by my bed so I can just do them periodically. Just use them periodically. But yeah. So let me maybe get an alternate thumbnail here. Flexing with them. Don't be jelly. Don't be jelly, bro. All right. I don't know. Got to get the silly thumbnail going on. But yeah. Maybe just raise them like this too. Just kind of. I'm really interested in like just the classic lifting them like this, and then like the punching with them. Yeah. See, I already feel like it's getting harder to lift them up. Yep, this is the next step in me hopefully maintaining my weight loss, maybe putting a little bit of muscle on, I don't know. with the protein, the tofu, the TVP, the tempeh, the seitan, and the lifting the weights. Yeah. Yep. All right, I'm gonna put these down. So, yeah, just a little flex there. I got the veins in my arms. Like you can't really see them with this, the way like this. I'm just using my cell phone and it's bad lighting, but yeah, I got like veins on my arms for the first time ever. And yeah, so I can't really. I mean, it's the thinnest I've ever been. Sucking in, not sucking in. Yeah. Can't believe it. It's crazy. Low 150s, 15.5% body fat. Like, I've been waiting so long for this. Like, I'm not trying to gloat, not trying to show off or anything, just documenting what I look like now. Late spring, going into summer 2026. Early 40s. Been vegan for 18 years. A vegan is a person who does the best they can to not eat, wear, or use animal products. That's what I've been doing since I was 23. So, yep. Plant-based diet. Experimented with a lot of different ways of eating plant-based. And, yeah. Protein and carbs, baby. I thought about, so the good carbs is fruit and starch, and you know, I thought if I want to like maybe get a little lower and maintain, maybe doing more of the non-starchy vegetables with the protein. So like, you know, tofu and broccoli type of thing. But I mean, I gotta have some starch here and there. I can't like totally cut it out. Just even with like McDougall diet, like starch solution, there's like McDougall maximum weight loss where you bring the starch down and you eat more non-starchy vegetables. There's that 50-50 plate, like 50% starch, 50% non-starchy vegetables. And then the more classic McDougall is adding more starch. But I'm kind of doing like, I haven't really been doing a lot of non-starchy vegetables. There's just been a lot of like protein and starch, like potatoes, sweet potatoes. When I have meatless burgers, like eating them with like a whole wheat bun, that's where the starch comes in with something like that. So yeah, I don't know. I thought about doing fake meat and vegetables. Fake meat and vegetables. That's the vegan version of lean meat and vegetables. But I don't know. I thought about just making some like shorts videos saying fake meat and vegetables. Lean fake meat. So, which I would include the meat substitutes, the tofu and all that. Lean fake meat would be like the Boca Burgers and the Smart Dogs, and like fake meat with a low fat content is what lean meats, lean fake meat means. But yeah, I might mess around with the carbs, the ratios and all that. Yep. So a lot of my during the day, I like to have like protein shakes and like a fruit cup. So like I got an Only What You Need shake here. Go ahead and take a drink of this. This is the cookies and creamless. Not sponsored by any product. 20 grams protein. Pea protein. It's basically pea protein. That is good. So like after I drink this, and I'll have like a fruit cup. This is diced pears. So I like to, you know, switch up the protein, especially the protein shakes. Sometimes do like protein yogurt. Switch up the fruit. See, there's like many different combinations for the protein sources and fruit. Like, I usually skip breakfast fast, have something like this around 10:30, walk on my lunch break at 11. It's good to walk after you eat to help with the insulin response and all that. Have the protein first, then the fruit to help with the insulin response and all that. Which I understand now that insulin does play a role, like the insulin response. Because if you spike your insulin too fast and it comes back down real fast and it makes you hungry, so you kind of want to slow down the process. That's what the protein helps with. And then I guess it helps with maintaining some muscle while you're losing fat. And then, so after I have that, like late morning walk around 11, sometimes I'll go ahead and have another snack, like a few hours later. Sometimes I'll just get back into fasting until I eat dinner. That's where the eating actual food comes in, like the tofu, or I've been doing a lot of seitan via mock duck. I have shorts on that. I don't do a lot of tempeh. I do tempeh every once in a while. That's like a healthier version of tofu because it uses whole soybeans that's been fermented, just like a block of fermented soybeans. And then when it comes to like burgers, do the Boca burgers. Those only have like 1 gram of fat. Beyond Burgers has like 14 grams. Beyond Impossible. That would be more like a treat, the way I've been doing things lately. Now, if I ever want to like raise my fat or something for some reason, then I would choose the higher fat stuff. But like what I'm doing right now, the lower fat, I would choose like old school Boca Burgers. Smart Dogs too, ditto for Smart Dogs. Kroger has their version of Smart Dogs now. Those are only like 1 gram of fat or something for each one of those. And then like the potatoes or sweet potatoes, I really like the purple sweet potatoes where they're purple on the inside. Those are great. I get those at Saraga, an international grocery store here in Indianapolis. Yeah, I have shorts on what I've been doing this past year. But what it all comes down to with weight loss is eating less, a calorie deficit. So that's what I've been saying lately is that I eat less than I used to when I was overweight. That's what it comes down to. The food choices helps a little bit with satiety and all that. But the weight loss comes down to calorie deficit and then utilizing protein. Utilizing the macros, whatever macro you subscribe to, whatever macro ratio, for whatever reasons you have. Different strokes for different folks. A lot of things work. It's just a matter of how sustainable is it. So like what I've been doing, I've been sustaining for like basically a year now, the protein and carbs. And keeping the fat on the lower side most of the time. Sometimes I'll have a little treat here and there. I try to use, for example, I try to use mustard and ketchup most of the time on things like burgers. And when I have like tofurkey sandwiches, sometimes I'll do like fake turkey sandwiches. But sometimes I'll buy some vegan mayonnaise and I'll go through like a jar of vegan mayonnaise. But then I'll try not to buy vegan mayonnaise for a while and focus more on mustard and ketchup and stuff. But like vegan mayonnaise, at this time, the current diet, the way I'm currently eating, vegan mayonnaise is more of a treat. Like I want something fatty, or like some avocado, like spreading some avocado on something, or to replace mayonnaise with. I actually did that recently. I spread some avocado instead of using vegan mayonnaise. When because sometimes there's cravings and you got to scratch the itch or whatnot, like higher fat cravings, but then get back into lower fat mode. But yeah, this was actually supposed to be more about just the weights, but just kind of where I'm at right now with what I'm doing. And yeah, I've I've been doing some reviews lately. I haven't been doing a lot of like recipes in my kitchen. I may or may not get back into that. I'm trying to decide where I want to take my YouTube channel because since I've lost the weight, I'm kind of just maintenance mode now. Uh, Maybe a little lower, but not much lower. Um, More focusing on like, you know, keeping my muscle, you know, I have some stubborn belly fat, which some of it's a little like loose skin, but I mean I have some stubborn belly fat. That's basically the only fat I have left in my body is the lower part of my stomach that I can grab with my hands. I got lucky. I don't have much loose skin at all. Like I had a lot of neck fat. If you go back and watch my older videos, I was really worried that I was going to have a lot of loose skin. I mean, I have a little bit. Like if I look down, I can grab some loose skin if I look down. But like if I look up, you know, it kind of tightens up. But if I grew a beard, that would hide it, hide it better. I can't keep a beard very long. I get tired of it after a while. But yeah, I can do neck exercises too. You know, try to keep things tight. Got a little loose skin. Someone asked me in the comments the other day about loose skin, so you know, I got a little a little loose skin right there. That's what the you know, hopefully the weights will help with that. But my whole life, a lot of my weight problem, my fat has been like my torso and like my neck. Like neck, man boobs, torso, and then everything else has pretty much been fine. So that's kind of like my problem areas. But yeah, so I think I'm about done here. Just to show some other stuff, I always have my Spry gum. I like the gum. I've been chewing that for years after like I drink coffee. And I finally, after years of chewing the Spry gum, I finally got the Spry mints. Again, not sponsored. I like the mints. So, yeah. Okay. I was kind of going back and forth with fake sugar, natural sweetener, sugar, alcohols. I've decided that I'm okay with all that stuff. I'm okay with it. I've been having all that stuff this whole time I've lost weight. I'm not going to be all or nothing with fake sugar, sweeteners, and sugar, alcohols, and all that. You know, I can still drink some of the low to no calorie stuff here and there, especially in the morning when I'm trying to like basically skip breakfast, which I do most days. Trying to figure out if there's anything else I want to mention or show. Of course, got the B12. We're gonna take a B12. Alrighty then. And there you have it. My blender bottle. Sometimes I do the protein shakes with the powder. I still like the raw Garden of Life. Somebody asked me the other day if I'm still using Garden of Life products. Yep. Garden of Life Raw Meal, Garden of Life Raw Fit. I haven't used the raw protein in a while, but I would use that. And then, let's see, there's the Orgain. I got some over here. I can't grab it because there's something in the way. Orgain powder, protein powder. Throw protein powder in stuff. Like sometimes when I do eat oatmeal in the morning, I throw some scoop of protein powder in that. Or any type of hot cereal. Yeah, I just kind of been throwing protein powder in whatever I can. And the TVP, I have a whole playlist on TVP. I've been throwing TVP in a lot of stuff. If I do have oatmeal, I do like half TVP, half oats. Stuff like that. And the seitan, the wheat meat. So I like the wheat meat, especially the mock duck, although it is a little oily. I try to rinse it off and wipe the oil off. Really should get into making my own seitan, which I did a long time ago, but it's easier just to buy it. Anyway, kind of rambling now. Yeah. So, I like the coffee. Sometimes I drink it black. Sometimes I put sugar substitute, maybe some milk substitute in it. Though black is best when doing the intermittent fasting thing. I like the, this is the Focused Energy. This is the Walmart version of Yogi. It's trying to be like Yogi, I think. Focused Energy tea, green tea. Sometimes I have coffee and green tea in the same day. I go back and forth with energy drinks. I'll go back and forth with fake sugar pop. Sometimes I have real sugar. Sometimes I have fake sugar. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Might lower the starch. Do fake meat and vegetables. Fake meat and vegetables. So anyway, yeah, man. Looking forward. Summer's about to start where I live, and basically maybe get down to the mid 140s. Keep using my weights. Maybe go up in the weights once I get used to the 2 pounds. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't belong to a gym. Might get into like some body weight exercises and calisthenics and stuff. I don't know. Sorry if the swivel is annoying. I didn't realize I was doing it till just now. But yeah, it's pretty surreal that I'm this skinny. I'm a skinny vegan. I'm finally a skinny vegan. This vegan shirt is getting too big. My vegan period shirt that I've worn for years is way too big now. This one's getting too big. Need to get some smaller shirts. But yeah. Yeah, that's basically it. Can't think of much else to talk about right now. Maybe do some more reviews. Maybe do some recipes. Maybe some shorts videos showing what I'm eating. And yeah, I think that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.